Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining. Feel free to have your camera on if you want to. No need if you're having a snack or having a last minute drink after work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask if everyone just stays on mute just during the sort of session. I am recording the session, so if you don't want to be on this nice lovely webinar, feel free to turn your camera off, just for anyone who can't make it so that they can watch it afterwards. We'll take some questions at the end, so feel free to turn your mics on then to ask questions or use the chat. But I'm going to hand over to the wonderful Vikki Nuthall, who is going to be your session leader today and is going to tell you how to train for a marathon. So take it away, Vikki.
Thank you, Jenny. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here this afternoon. My name's Vikki. Jenny's asked me just to come and talk to you for 20-25 minutes. So what I'm just saying to Jen before you came on, I'm going to try and cram as much as I can into this session. So you may be a bit blown away by the time I finish, but it's okay. We'll do what we can. We'll run through, and at the end, I'll answer any questions that I can. If I don't know the answers, I'll say I don't know the answers, but I'll get them for you. But let's make a start, okay? So hopefully you can all see the screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my presentation. Excellent. Okay, here we go. So, about me. So, I've run the London Marathon 3 times. I've run it in 18, 19, and we did the virtual last year. So I was running for the Meningitis Research Foundation last year, but obviously COVID struck. And so I ran the virtual London last year, which was different. It was good. So I still raised money for the charity. So it was great. So me, what I do, I'm a strength and conditioning coach and I'm a personal trainer. So that is what I do. That is my job. So my link with the Meningitis Research Foundation. This is how I ended up talking to Jenny and how I've ended up supporting the charity. I lost one of my best friends to bacterial meningitis in 2019. He was 36. And on the day that he died, he'd been to out of hours that morning and they told me it was an ear infection. But actually it was bacterial meningitis and sepsis, and he dropped dead 1 o'clock the following morning. So it blew us all to bits. I'll never get over it. I found it quite hard just putting these pictures up today, but this is why I will always support the Meningitis Research Foundation. I'll always be there for the charity. So when Jenny asked me to do this, I'm doing it for Aaron. So I ran for him last year and I'll continue to support. So that's just a little bit about my link to the charity. So this is your goal, London Marathon 2021. I don't know how many of you have run a marathon before. I don't know how, has anyone run a marathon before online? Yeah, okay. How many we want? How many fingers up, how many marathons you've run? Oh, look at, how many? What got there? Eight marathons? Wow. Oh, wicked, brilliant, really great. So, but, it's going to have some people on this that are going to be beginners. So we're going to talk very briefly on training plans. But all I will say to anyone that's running London Marathon, if you haven't run it before, as you guys will know, it's the best day ever, hence why we keep running it. It's an amazing day, it's an amazing experience. Take it in, take the day in, don't set off like a lunatic, pace yourself, take in the crowds, the atmosphere, and the crowds will pull you through. It is the best feeling in the world. And when you hit, Tower Bridge for me, it just, the roar of the crowd at Tower Bridge is just unbelievable. I think you'll agree, guys, those who've run it before. And then when you come up to Buckingham Palace, you think, I've made it, I've done it, and it is an incredible day. So enjoy it. Because sometimes when I did it the first time, I was a bit swept away. I just wanted to get it over and done with. The second time I ran it, I really just took the pace down and I just wanted to enjoy it. So make sure for those of you that to be the first time run, just enjoy it. It's a brilliant day. Okay, so hierarchy of health, key principles. Okay, so we talk about exercise. Obviously, we need to run. We need to do a marathon training, okay? But in order to complement our marathon training, there's a number of key principles that we need to take into consideration in order to complement our training. So you'll see this pyramid that I have here. You will note that actually exercise is right at the top. So that's the least priority in order for your trainer. Now it sounds crazy, but let me explain why. So as you know, with marathon training, you're going to be endurance runners. You're going to be up in the pace over probably 16 weeks. Now, in order to sustain your marathon training, in order for you to get to that finish line, you need to look after yourselves, okay? So what I mean, so if I talk from the bottom of the pyramid, so we're going bottom up, daily habit management. Obviously, with COVID lockdown, a lot of us have been working from home, so we end up being slumped in front of a computer for hours on end, maybe We're not moving as much as we normally would. So you've got to take into consideration your daily habit management, take into consideration your stress levels. Stress plays a major part in your training. You know, you need to consider and think about work stress, you know, running around after the children. You need to think about your stress levels. By the stress levels will then start affecting your sleep patterns, your energy levels. So you need to get your stress under control. Sleep. Sleep is key when you're training for a marathon. You know, you need sleep. You know, you need to feel refreshed and energized when you wake up in the morning, not, you know, having a couple of hours. You probably ideally need 7 to 8 hours sleep. Hydration, mega important, especially as you start ramping up your training, as you proceed through your training plan. You will need to hydrate, and you need to make sure you're sufficiently hydrated. Typically 48, probably you start hydrating 48, 72 hours before you go out on your long run. Okay. R&R, rest and relaxation. So, you know, it's not all about just plodding on the road and just plodding miles, getting miles in the bank. You know, it's part of it. You need to ensure that you find some rest and relaxation, whether that is, you know, going, having a drink with your friends, or going out to the park for kids, or doing some yoga or some meditation, whatever works for you. But you need to find some ways of relaxation that also helps with your stress levels. Gut health and nutrition. Gut health. Runners, you know, I've been subject to it. You've been caught short, you know, on your marathon training. You know, your fuel, you're trying to get your fueling right. You're trying this and that, and sometimes you get stomach cramps. It gets all to do with hydration, the food you're consuming before you go out on your runs. So you need to think about what you're putting into your body, and as well, don't be scared of carbs. We need carbs. Carbs give us energy. Okay. So again, when you hydrate, you need to hydrate, and you need to fuel that body consistently, because it's like driving a car. If we're going to drive up to Manchester or Scotland, we're not going to run it empty. We need to ensure that it's ticking over, and then we have to do the same thing with our bodies. We need to look after our bodies in order to complement that marathon training. And then obviously the sport specific goal here is that it's the endurance, it's the exercise. So our target is to hit that finish line, okay, to do the 26.2 miles. But in order to complement your training, you need to ensure that all these key principles all underpin where you need to be, okay? So we're going to touch on strength training, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it just a little bit further on. But what you'll see here is another pyramid. We love pyramids, me and my colleague Ben. So you can see where you need to be to where you want to go. So what you'll see is mobility, stability, and motor control. Now you need to make sure, so obviously mobility is the ability of the joint to move actively through the range of motion. Stability is the ability to maintain that control as the joint goes through that movement. And the motor control is the balance between the mobility and the stability. Now, if you've got a few issues here, it's going to impact you. You need good quality movement before you start loading through strength training. So the key stuff, you've got your squats, your lunges, your push, your pull, your hinge, and your rotation. I'm going to come to that in a bit, and that's going to be when I'm talking about specific strength training exercises that will complement your marathon training, okay? And again, our goal is specific. You know, we want to be talking about endurance. We need to ensure that we can run 26.2 miles. We're going to be pounding those roads over a 16-week period. So it's conditioning as well. So it's really important that from the, again, bottom up, we need to make sure that mobility, stability, motor control is in place in order to complement our training moving forward, okay? Okay, so I've just pulled this definition. Again, you know, I'm targeting beginners here who are going to be totally new to it. There is run definitions. So, you know, you've got easy runs. So this has been taken off the London Marathon website. So I thought, you know, you might have seen this before. So you've got easy runs. So that's an easy run. You should feel nice and relaxed. If it's, you know, if you're brand new to running, you know, that might even be an effort, but that's fine. Take it down, walk it, jog it. So you're looking at probably about 60% of your maximum effort when you're out on that run. So you should be very capable of holding a conversation throughout it. Then as we progress through the plan, you then go into a steady run, which you're looking about 60 to 70% of your maximum effort. And that's when we start talking about the miles in the bank. You're getting your legs used to moving for an amount of time. So it's your feet on the ground. So that builds the base for your training plan. So again, you're still able to have a conversation, but you know, you're not going to be gossiping as much as you were in the previous weeks. It's starting to feel a little bit tougher. Then we've got our tempo runs. Looking at about 80% of maximum effort. So you're going across, you're looking at sustained pace. That's when we probably start thinking about marathon pace. These runs sometimes are a bit slightly uncomfortable as you run faster, but I tell you now, it does pay off. You know, even that time you feel like screaming, kicking the curb, when you look back, the marathon training is so important in order to get you through the day. And the long runs, targeting your marathon. This is where on your long runs, you will focus, you know, you'll probably have an idea of what your finish time, how long you want to be out there. So then you know roughly you have a pace that you wish to follow. So you use your long runs. So if you're looking to be running at a 10:30 pace, or you may be a 9:20 minute mile pace, then you use these long runs to practice your target marathon pace in order to come in on the time you want to. But make sure, you know, again, guys, I mean, I don't know where you are and what you're, you know, whether you want to achieve, you're a beginner, an improver, or an advanced, you want to smash a PB, or you're just there for the day, but just enjoy it. Don't let that take the day away from you. It's a brilliant, brilliant day. Okay, so again, typical marathon training plan for those of you who are brand new to it. This is again based over a 16-week plan. It's not set in tablets of stone. It just gives you, there's so many training plans out there. You've got to find one that works for you, but you must ensure whatever you do, you need to rest. Okay, you must rest in between your runs. Okay, so like I say, going back, so looking at week 1, if you're brand new to it, you might just shudder and think, what? You know, I've got to go out and do 3 runs in week 1. It doesn't matter. Take it down, walk it, jog it. I promise you. I mean, when I first started running, I remember my husband, even now, he'll go, how many miles are you doing today? He's not a runner at all. I said, oh, it's only 13 miles. And he's going, 13 miles? Oh, only 13 miles. But that's when you think, God, yeah, I couldn't even run 5K a couple of years ago. You know, yeah, we've been there, haven't we? So this is why the training plans are really, really good. They're really important, but, you know, just take them in your stride. Okay, now this is my suggestion. This is what works for me. So you say, for example, you're following a training plan. Now, what I try and do, I've got my training plan. I then look at a list of local running events that are taking place around my training plan, and I tie in my runs to events. For me, I know mentally, I've got it, I've done it, I've completed it. It might not work for some of you, rather than just plodding the roads on your own for hours on end during the 16 weeks. This always seems to work for me. So I just go on to Runners World or the UK athletics portal. I look at the events taking place during that time, have a look at the runs that I need to achieve, and then I try and tie them in. So example, you've got a 5K, 10K, 10 miler, half marathon, the 18 miles and the 20 miler. Now, the 20 miler comes in about 4 or 5 weeks before, because then we go into taper period. 20 miler, I always knock out the Milton Keynes 20 miler. I don't know if any of you have done that, the Milton Keynes 20, but what you will find as you approach 4 or 5 weeks before your marathon date, you will see a couple of big 20 miler events, and they're specifically put on to help marathon runners. So I always do the Milton Keynes 20. Yeah, so you just, but that was what works for me. But that's each to your own. I'm just giving you a suggestion. Okay. So we talk about strength training, and if you think back in the previous slide, I talked about mobility, stability, and motor control. Now, in order to complement your training, you need to do some strength work. I would say if you can try and factor in 2 strength sessions a week into your busy training plan, it will help. So I've given you some suggestions here. What is really, really important is whatever you do, you must activate, okay? So you must do some activation exercises to help fire those glutes up, to get thoracic spine open, get the hips opened up, chest and shoulder openers, core work. Core is important. This is my suggestion to you: 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, split into 2 sessions a week. So focus specifically on lower body for half of it, and then do the second session, upper body. But these are the sort of things that I'd be wanting. That's what I'd ask my clients to be concentrating on. So you can look at squats, bilateral and unilateral. So remember, running is a one-legged exercise, so unilateral strength is really important. So again, you can use, if you know about TRX, a suspension trainer, you can use that to assist you. If you find it too uncomfortable doing, say, for example, pistol squats, going onto one leg. So you can do bilateral squats, unilateral squats. You can use resistance, so say you use a TRX, you can use weights, kettlebells. Kettlebell swings, they're good for posterior chain. Deadlifts, step ups, they're killers, but really good for unilateral strength. Lunges, unilateral. Again, lunges, you can do single leg lunges, walking lunges, you can do it with weights or body weight. Single leg deadlifts, really good as well, unilateral strength and balance. Press ups, obviously, we're using our arms, remember, it's not just our legs doing all the work, we're using the body as well. So again, press ups are really important. So you've got your press and your pull, dumbbell rows, tricep dips, back extension. Remember, your core goes all the way round. It's not just your stomach, it goes all the way around. It supports the back, your lower back muscles. Glute bridges, bilateral, unilateral, plank variations. People start shuddering when they start talking about planks. Elbow planks, high planks, side planks. And then again, with regards to core, bit of rotational work, so Russian twists. But like I say, I think it's really important that you incorporate a strength training program into your marathon training to help complement you. It will make you stronger. It's not the time to start focusing on getting PBs on deadlifts. You know, you can't do both. You can't go lifting loads of weight and run. It just doesn't work. It's one or the other. But strength training can assist you to complement your marathon training, get you to that finish line. Okay. So say activation exercise is mega important, what you do. And again, making sure that you stretch. So flexibility work. So maybe you were, like saying, going back to your rest and relaxation, finding something, you know, just having a stretch on a Sunday night. So maybe your long run is a Saturday or a Sunday morning. Maybe find online yoga, look at something on YouTube and just have a stretch on a Sunday night. Stretching, lengthening those muscles, really important. I know it's a lot to take in. I could keep going on, but I'm just keeping just the key basics. But again, hydration, mega important. Nutrition, mega important. Your sleep, mega important. Reducing your stress levels, important. Getting that training, you know, getting that training in, important. You know, and finding ways to stay motivated. Because I know I've been there. You do some runs and you think, oh, I can't do it. And I was kicking the curb, I can't do this anymore, I've had enough. And then you just go back, go home. You're gonna have bad runs. You just write them off. You know, you can't have a great run all the time and then just go back out a couple days later and try again. You know, it'll be fine, but enjoy it, guys. It is the most amazing, amazing day and you're raising money for a brilliant, brilliant charity. So that's all I have to say at the minute. We're opening, I mean, Jenny, do you want to open it up?
Fantastic. If anyone wants to turn their mic on or the camera on and ask any questions, this is your chance. You've got a personal trainer right here who's happy to answer any questions that you've got. I think I had one question about motivation, is just, you know, how do you pick yourself back up when you've had that rough run and you think, you know, I can't be bothered with this anymore? What is it that helps you to get back out?
For me, it was Aaron.
Yeah.
So just think why you're doing it. Why are we here? Why are we raising money for the Meningitis Research Foundation? There's a reason why we're doing it. And so when you feel really like, I'm not doing this anymore, and you're all angry and chucking your kit on the floor, and, you know, I've been there, and I just think, no, I'm doing this for Aaron. You know, need to raise awareness, need to raise some money, you know, to ensure this doesn't happen. You know, it's just think why. And that's what I always do. You know, I run for children with cancer the year before, because my cousin's little boy has leukemia. So it's, you know, when you have your bad runs, remember why we're doing it. That's all I'm going to say. Just remember why we're here. Remember why we're running for the charity. And that just gives you that, yeah, oomph, right, we've got this. Pants on, let's go. You know, and that is what I do. And that, I think that's what we have to remember. And that gives you the motivation to spur you on. We're raising money for a brilliant charity, a great cause.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? You can pop them in the chat as well if you prefer.
Oh, what have we got? We've got some. I'm a complete beginner. Susie, where's Susie? Susie, where are you? I can't. Oh, there you are, Susie.
Hello.
You're right.
Yes, I'm good. I'm not a complete beginner to running, but I am a complete beginner to marathoning. So
you're going to love it. I tell you honestly. Oh, I just love the day. It is brilliant. You know, from the starting pen, you know, running, it is just such a, like, I can't keep the smile off my face. I run it every year. It is just amazing. And I tell you now, the crowds will get you through. They just pull you through. It is such an amazing day. It's such an amazing...
I'm really looking forward to it. I think the biggest challenge for me, probably more than actually getting the miles, sorry, my cat is making an appearance, is actually the gut side of it, because my gut is really, really sensitive to when I push myself running. And so I was quite interested to hear you said that there's a link to hydration there.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Make sure your
hydration will help.
Yeah, don't you learn along the way, and I've got friends that can go without anything, and then they start, you can see they're crashing and burning into the runs. I've learned personally, and I know a couple of my friends who run long distance, that the key to it's fueling. So hydrate, and like I say, I know it sounds excessive, 48, 72 hours. Yeah. Hydrate sufficiently, not just a couple of pints of water before you go out the door when you have to go and knock out a 15-mile run. Don't do, it's not going to work. Make sure you carry water with you as well. Getting closer to race day, obviously you're going to be using your marathon training to work out, trial and error, you're going to be trying, experimenting what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Do not start changing it up, a week or so, a couple of weeks before. If it works for you, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. If you go to the Marathon Expo, like you do, and you're going to collect your race number, another brilliant day. You may be drawn to like the cliff blocks. You go, oh wow, these look good. What you've got your fueling plan probably in place by then. You'll have your hydration plan. Don't start mucking around with it then. Don't start buying new kit and decide to put new trainers on. It's all just, this is just from experience. It's just, if you've got it, you've got plenty of time to nail it. You've got plenty of time to work out your hydration, plenty of time to work out your fueling. What works for you, your trainers, you've got, what kit feels right. You get too hot, get too cold, you play with it all going through the training plan. Don't start messing around with it, a couple of weeks before the day, because it could go wrong.
I was just about to say that, Vikki, actually. It's Neil.
Hello, Neil.
Get used to sort of using gels and things as well, because the way that I do it is that every 4 miles I have a gel. So I know how many I need to get me through a whole race. So it's getting used to having the same gels through your training and also on the event as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm every 6 miles. Every 6 miles works for me, and it worked out perfectly, for the last 2 marathons, London, that I've done. And I swear by, some people may just run with water, but I like the CIS, the Science in Sport electrolyte tablets that dissolve in the water. Because I sweat, I'm a sweater. So when I run, there's sweat pouring off me. It doesn't matter if it's, freezing cold or boiling hot, I sweat. So I lose a lot of salt. So for me, it's the Science in Sport electrolyte, they're dissolvable tablets. You can get them on Amazon, eBay, or sports shops, and just pop it in your water bottle. And again, you can keep topping that up. You just got to play. You've got plenty of time to play with it during your training. But I find that works. So like Neil says, good point. You're going to find gels work for you. I personally can't do gels, they make me feel sicky, so I use the Cliff Blocks. So I have a Cliff Block about every 6 miles, and then I top up with electrolytes in my water, and that seems to work out okay. Don't worry about hydration on the course. Obviously you're going to take, but there is plenty of water on the course. There is water every mile marker on the course. Apart from, was it 2018, it was boiling hot, and it was ridiculous. And luckily I was okay because I was able to get water when I needed it. But those that were back behind me really struggled to get water at the end. But that was, that was a one-off.
That won't happen again.
It'll be
lots and lots of water now.
Yeah, I think the problem is it scared a lot of runners after that, thinking they're not going to have sufficient water. You'll be all right. There's loads of water on the course. Yeah. So
I have a question.
Go for it.
Hi, I'm Jenny. This will be my first marathon. I'm very excited about it, but also incredibly daunted. So I'm upping my distance, so that's going okay. I'm not sure it would be classed as running at the pace I go, but I'm still moving forward. I wanted to ask about how important is strength training. I've got friends who've done marathons, and they do talk about it. I'm a bit concerned that I don't actually have any core strength at all. And as a beginner, I didn't really understand everything you were saying. I didn't know the terms that you were referring to, the acronyms, when you were going through that strength training list. So as a beginner, what would be your advice?
I would say, you know, I think I can send you, I mean, I don't know, Jen, can we, I'm more than happy to send my presentation to Jenny, and Jenny can whiz it over to you guys. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to share that. And I'm happy to share like emails as well. So if you email me, I can sort of link GDPR, but you know, I can link people up together.
I've got no problem with that. You know,
Yeah.
I'll leave my email and my phone. Jenny, this is Jenny B, Jenny Boxwell. And any of you, if you need you, literally, I will send the stuff and I'll send my contact details to Jenny at MRF. If you need me, email me. Okay, so Jenny, for example, your questions, I am more than happy to answer your questions. Okay,
thank you very much.
I'll help and support you as much as I can. All right, so I like to say, I know if you're not used to, you know, it's a whole new thing for you. I totally get it. Not a problem at all. I'll help you. I can give you some links and I can show you, you know, give you some links so you can see visually what you need to do. I can help you with that. So please don't worry. I'll help you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Evie, it's your first marathon too.
I'm actually Michelle. Evie's my daughter, and I couldn't change it. So yes. And I'm really nervous. I've been running a couple of years, but just myself. And last year I ran the distance of 26 miles over a number of days for meningitis. I lost my niece to meningitis, so that's my big motivation. It's still very emotional, and I'm sure it is for everybody. Everyone's got their own reason. Probably my biggest thing is the confidence. I've been running and I've been up on the miles. I joined a running club and I was even so nervous to go to that on Monday night. So today, even just listening to you and listening to the other girls for the first time has just been so good for me. So I would love to keep in touch with you guys.
Definitely. I don't mind keeping, we can do a Zoom, we can do a monthly Zoom if you want me to. I don't mind, we just come online and you can just go, Vikki, just, you know, ask me. I'm here. I am here. You know,
I love the idea of like a bit of accountability as well, because when you're doing it on your own, I think, and I will be quite disciplined, you know, but and then life gets in the way a bit too, and so I would love that. I just feel like a bit like the other girl. I've tried a gel thing. It's all like really new to me, so I'm excited and I'm nervous. And even when you said about just enjoy it, I was like, oh, okay, I might actually be able to do this.
Please enjoy it. Honestly, I was meant to be, as Jenny knows, I was meant to be running London this year with you guys. So I would have been running with you guys. But I ruptured my disc in my back in November. And at my consultant's advice, I'm not allowed to do any endurance running for a while. So I'm fine, but I've been working on my core and really focusing hard on my strength training. So I'm good, but I just can't take the risk. So I had to really difficult decision. I had to say to Jenny, I can't do it this year, so I pulled out. So, but if I can help you guys get you to the finish line, amazing. I might even come on the day. If we, you know, I'll come and support. I'll come up on the I'll come and cheer you on at the stand. You know, I'm here. So please, you know, you've got this, guys. I know it's daunting doing your first marathon, but you will look back and you'll just a sense of achievement, a sense of pride. You've done something amazing. Not a lot of people run a marathon. Remember that, and you're doing it. So brilliant.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I hope that's helped. Any other questions?
Okay. I'm happy to, especially feedback is the best thing for me because I love to improve where I can. I'm happy to maybe from next month do a maybe monthly drop-in session for the team of just getting together on Zoom. Hopefully we'll try and get Vikki to come in as well and answer questions, but even just for you guys to share with each other what you've been trying, what works, what doesn't work, you know, because I know the Facebook group is there, but sometimes it's nice to see a face and be able to go, this isn't going very well, like I don't know how to do this. Has anyone got, you know, a strength training video they've been trying? So I will put that in my diary tomorrow and I will organize something for next next month, and I'll organise something where Vikki can come. So if you can go away and have a try with some stuff, then Vikki can help with that. But if there aren't any other questions, I'd just like to thank Vikki so much for her time and advice, which has been absolutely amazing. I'm also a runner myself, but very much a beginner. So I'll be using some of those things as well myself. But unless anyone's got any more questions. No? All right. Well, thank you very much, Vikki. That was absolutely wonderful. And we can't thank you enough for your time.
You're very welcome. I know I've sort of just giving you loads of information over a short, but you know, I hope it helped. Like I say, I'm on the other end. I'm here. I will give Jenny my contact details. Please, guys, any of you, feel free to contact me and I'll support you wherever I can. Okay?
Thank you so much. Goodbye, guys.
Lovely to meet you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.